Hello there my dear friends, and welcome back to another very exciting Star Wars video. So today I'll be covering the latest massive Star Wars updates. We have some very exciting rumours for Ahsoka Season 2, and then we're going to be talking about Star Wars Starfighter. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, but no more jibber jabber, let's dive straight in. So we're going to begin with Dave Filoni's Ahsoka. This week has been packed with rumours and leaks for the show, and go check out my other videos if you missed them. But today we have another very exciting report. A few days ago, we were told that Anakin's Force Ghost is going to be involved in some fight sequences. We don't know if this is going to be like in Season 1, The World Between Worlds, but I'm thinking not, because according to the new leak, they just finished a massive fight scene between Baylan, played by Roy McCann, and Hayden Christensen. That's right my friends, if this is to be believed, Baylan Skoll, in his journey on Peridea to find whatever's calling out to him, is going to be confronted by Anakin's Force Ghost, which brings up the interesting question of how much Force Ghosts can get involved with their surroundings. A big question since Return of the Jedi has been, can Force Ghosts impact the physical world? And if so, how come Obi-Wan's Force Ghost didn't confront Vader again? Well, according to Disney canon, Obi-Wan recognized it was part of Luke's journey to do so. And according to plenty of other canon sources, Yoda in The Last Jedi, Luke's ghost in The Rise of Skywalker, even Anakin's ghost in the book Shadow of the Sith, Force spirits can now manipulate the world around them. And so in light of this, in Ahsoka Season 2, Anakin's Force ghost might confront Baylan. And even if it wasn't an established rule, you have to figure Peridea with its connections to Mortis would be an exception where these kinds of things happen. It's an ethereal world which we still don't understand. Now a few people have pointed something out. Because Hayden on set before the special effects just looks like Revenge of the Sith Anakin, it's entirely possible this fight scene is a flashback. And if that's the case, that's even more exciting. Maybe Baylan was inside the Jedi Temple during Order 66, and so we might be about to witness a lightsaber duel that fans have wanted to see since 2005. An extended sequence of Anakin storming the Jedi Temple, killing Sindralig, wiping out Padawans, other knights and masters, and maybe someone Anakin dueled was Baylan, but they're going to have to explain how he got away, how he escaped Vader, and got off Coruscant. But if this rumor is true, it's one of the biggest moments that we're going to see in Season 2. As I've said before, Dave Filoni is really going all out. But moving on my dear friends, we're now going to talk about Star Wars Starfighter. According to John Rocker, who I would say is more reliable than most, he's good friends with Jeff Snyder, and both of them have a very good track record. The initial plot rumors for Starfighter were true, even down to who each character is playing. So according to the new scoop, the young boy being played by Flynn Gray, Ryan Gosling's character's nephew, is Force sensitive. And we also find out Amy Adams, who is playing his mum, is a Jedi. They don't say former Jedi, so we don't know if she was part of Luke's academy once upon a time, or if she's going to be part of Rey's Jedi Academy. Some have said she might be a survivor of Order 66, but considering this movie takes place 5 years after Episode 9, if we're assuming she's a human, I really doubt that. The ages do not match. She's way too young. And I know how people are going to react to this, I can already see the theories, but no, I don't think she's playing the canon version of Mara Jade. So here you have a Jedi and her son, and Ryan Gosling's character doesn't have the Force. But Amy Adams gives him a mission to protect her son from the film's villains. So for whatever reason, Amy, the mother, and her son being played by Flynn Gray cannot be together. And as the initial rumor stated, Ryan and the boy are on the run. I did come up with a theory a few weeks ago that maybe Amy Adams' character's been captured. So that's all we've been told. And if anything else, it makes the Rey speculation even stronger. How she might be the savior at the end, who rescues the boy from the villains, and maybe she trains him. Maybe they're setting up the next generation of Jedi. And you guys remember there was a rumor about the Rey movie, that there were going to be 2 Force-sensitive students, one boy and one girl. Maybe the Rey movie takes place after Starfighter, and Flynn Gray might be the male Padawan. They might be setting up his path. Is he going to follow the Jason Solo archetype? Who knows? But I do think it's pretty significant to note that during this period of time there are so many Force sensitives just running around. And the one detail I would love clarity about is, what does John Rocker mean when he says Amy Adams is playing a Jedi? Did she used to be a Jedi, or is she currently practicing? Is she a knight at Rey's temple? Does she already know her? Maybe, like I said, she's a remnant of Luke's academy, before Kylo Ren burnt it to the ground. And maybe Rey's quest is to try and find survivors. She's trying to rebuild her own Jedi Order, and in this way, if this is all true, another early rumor's been proven correct, that Starfighter is connected to Simon Kinberg's trilogy. The post-Episode 9 time period is a bit like the Mandoverse. Lots of different projects that ultimately coincide, and I think Lucasfilm still wants Rey to be a massive part of that. So I've seen the way Star Wars fans have been reacting to this, and there's a lot of outrage, there's a lot of anger, and in some ways I get it, but I've kind of been warning you guys about this for months. It would have been great if Starfighter was disconnected, but are we really surprised that Rey is going to be in this film? We've known for some time that Rey was going to come back. Even if there was a bit of uncertainty surrounding Starfighter, the signs were there. To not feel disappointed in the future, I would urge you to assume that anything post-Rise of Skywalker is going to have some kind of sequel connection, whether it's Rey, Poe, or Finn. Now when it comes to Rey's standalone movie by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, you guys know I doubt that movie's ever going to be made. But to say Daisy is never coming back, I think she's going to start with a brief appearance in Starfighter, and then we'll wait and see. I'm not as shocked about this though. I would have preferred if Starfighter didn't have any Rey connection, and they just gave us a post-Episode 9 movie that was something of a palate cleanser. John Rocker's original reports didn't mention Rey, but Daisy Ridley was in Italy just a few days ago. That's where they're filming at the moment. She's got Rey-length hair, and I predict she will make some kind of cameo. I do agree that it feels like it's in the cards, but if these new scoops are to be believed, then Starfighter is once again a movie with Force connections. But I'm interested in the world building of it. What kind of Force presence, other than the Jedi, is around at this time? Another popular claim this report debunks is the notion that Cade Skywalker is the character that Ryan Gosling is playing. Don't expect Lucasfilm to make these big, expanded universe connections. So those are the latest Starfighter updates. And now, my dear friends, on to our next Star Wars update. Volume 3 of Star Wars Visions is only a month away. They dropped the official trailer the other night, then an English dub of it, and I do just want to point out, a month ago I broke down the leaked celebration footage, which is so similar, so go check that out. But what we didn't know is how awesome the voice cast is going to be. There are some enormous Hollywood names, and many of these, now that they're working with Lucasfilm, have Star Wars fans hoping they're going to voice characters or play characters in live action content. We're talking about George Takei, Simu Liu, who a few months ago said he wants to appear in a Star Wars project, and also Steve Buscemi. I was like, what in the world? Steve Buscemi doing a Star Wars? That's insane. But the one person I really wanted to talk about is Jodie Turner-Smith from The Acolyte, Mother Anastasia. She's returning to Lucasfilm to voice an unknown character in Wit Studio short Bounty Hunters. And the reason this has gained so much press attention is because she was badmouthing Lucasfilm just a few months ago over the cancellation of The Acolyte. I mean, look, I think she's a great actress. I think she was wasted in the Leslie Headland show, but she was still very upset. Upset at Disney and upset at Lucasfilm. Because guess what? The Acolyte just didn't make money. And yesterday they even released the final budget. This thing was always destined to fail. Whether you like the show or you don't, I'm honestly surprised they didn't cut up The Acolyte into a movie. Nonetheless, Jodie Turner-Smith is returning, and there is another name that's interesting on this list, Emma Myers, Enid Sinclair from Wednesday. Now here's me getting my conspiracy hat on again. So do you remember how I said there are a couple of Wednesday people who are working on Ahsoka, the cinematographer Steve Pershon, and there are 1 or 2 actors listed on IMDb. But if there was anyone I would theorize to come into Star Wars from that show, it would be Emma Myers. But that said, my dear friends, that wraps up today's Star Wars news update. If you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and may the Force be with you always.